Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another review. And in this review, I'll be reviewing the JJrC slash Eachine H8 Mini. And now I say slash because there's a JJrC version and an Eachine version. However, they are the same thing. The only difference is the name, like on the box, and then on the emblem here. On the Eachine version, I think it says H8 Mini there. And now I actually think JJrC came out with this first. Like they designed it, because if you look at this and you just listen, it's called the H8 Mini, which, and as you can probably tell, it looks very similar to the JJrC H8C, which is their larger version. And if you look, it's basically just a mini, like even with the emblems in the middle. So I think it's actually JJrC's quadcopter, and almost everyone has the Eachine version, but I'm not really sure. That's just my thoughts if you look at it. So enough about that. It comes with these little black foam footies that you can put on, and it has you peel the tape off or the backing off, and then it sticks to it. However, they'll fall off in a crash, so I just put a drop of hot glue on there and just stuck them on. They haven't come off yet, and now that will decrease flight times just a little bit, but barely any. And now, one of the main reasons this is already really hugely popular, and my review is a little bit late because my Banggood order got lost in the mail. I waited 2 months, so then I bought it from T-Mart and got it in 2 days from their U.S. warehouse. One of the reasons this is really popular is it's super cheap. When it first came out, they had like a sale, and it was like $12, and now it's around 16. I'll leave a couple links below to check it out. Almost everywhere it's 16 now. And also, one of the things is the yaw rate on this and high rates is crazy fast. It spins so fast on high rates. And it also has really nice pitch. In low rates, it'll probably pitch about that much, and in high rates, it'll pitch about that much. So this can get really fast, and it also has a ton of power. And now I lined up these motors in here with some motors from, say, like a little nano quadcopter, and I think measuring. See if I can focus this here so you can see in there. Okay, there we go. The motors are actually the same diameter as the little nano motors, so 6 millimeters. However, they're quite a bit longer. So they're an interesting new size of motor for this quad. And now the included battery that comes with it, since this is ready to fly, is a 3.7 volt 150 milliamp hour battery. And that takes, it also comes with a USB charger cable here. Only 2 spare props, only 2. In the black, this also comes in black as you can see here, but that also has white props. And a little screwdriver here. Comes with the manual and transmitter, but I'll get to that later. And just real quick, I really like this box. It's super nice and compact, especially like when I have to store these because I have so many of them. I really like that box. So super compact. And now for charging times, this cable actually did not work. I think it may be defective. It lit up, and then without the battery in, it would flash. But whenever I put the battery in, then it would go off, and it never came back on. So and I waited over an hour and nothing happened. It didn't go. So I ended up charging with my JJrC 1000A USB cable, because they both have the micro low-C plug, and that charged it about half an hour, and the light went off. So I'd say about half an hour charge would be reasonable to expect. The manual that comes with it is, it's got one side in Chinese, one side in English, but everything that you need to know, like all the transmitter information, it will tell you. So it's not too bad of a manual there. Then the transmitter, this is actually a little bit different because it looks like a nano transmitter right off the bat. But one second. But if you actually look at it, here's a CX10 transmitter. I got the CX10A just because it was black. You can see it's quite a bit larger there. So you can see that it's a lot larger. And it doesn't look that much larger on camera here, but when you're holding it, this feels a lot larger. And the sticks are really nice on this. They're actually really nice and loose, and they click. And now on your, I'll plug it in here to show you the lights. And since this is the white version, the lights show up really well. And I forgot to say it, but the battery, you get about 5.5 minute flights with the battery like this, and you can't take the prop guards off. They are molded on, so you can't take those off. With this one, you don't have to up down to bind. It'll bind by itself. Okay, and now when you click the right stick and give input, it'll do a flip in that direction. Then you have forward and backward and left and right trim for your right stick. However, on the left stick over here, this is high and low rates, left and right, And it doesn't matter which direction you change, it'll go to the other rate. So if you're in low and you press left, it'll go to high, and if you're in high and you press low and on the right, it doesn't matter which ones you press to go into the different setting. And if you press the left stick, it'll enter return to home mode, and that will start to come back to you. And then once you give input, it'll go out of that, as you can hear there, and then it's in headless mode. So you have to go through return to home mode to get to headless mode, but you just move the stick to get out of return to home. And now you just click the left stick again to cancel that. To recalibrate the accelerometer, you just put both sticks down to the right. As you can see, it flashes there. And to recalibrate headless, since this remembers it before the flight, you just put both down into the left, and then it'll blink slowly there. And this headless actually works really good. Like, it'll last almost the entire flight, and it'll still, like on return to home, it's really nice. And as you can see, these LEDs here, these are really nice LEDs. They shine through and pitch black. The entire thing, including the props, lights up. So it's a really nice night flyer there. The red's in the front and the blue is in the back. I know that will annoy some people. It doesn't bother me, but a lot of people don't like that, so I prefer to see the blue in the front. Let's see what else. The yaw rate, even and it can, while it's spinning as fast as it can still move around in headless mode. And that's kind of amazing in itself, that it can be spinning that fast and still keep going in one direction. And now it does lose quite a bit of height and like wobble around if you're doing too much. So you have to be, if you're giving full yaw and headless, you have to be careful with that. And it has these props are a little bit bigger than, like, than standard nano props. And now this is smaller than a micro like the JJrC 1000A or JJ1000, but yet it's bigger than a nano like, say, the Proto X or CX10. So it's an in-between unique size. And I forgot to say, but on the remote, I've been getting about 40 to 50 meters range, which is pretty good for a little, it's not really a nano transmitter, but it's pretty good for a little transmitter like this. And you can also use, I've been using the SEMA X2 batteries. They are also 150 milliamp hours. However, they're quite a bit smaller than the JJrC or Eachine ones. And they're both 150, but these are quite a bit smaller. And these I get 5.5 minute flights, but these I get 3.5 minute flights. So I'm not sure what is going on, if these are just worn out or what, but because those have been a while. Let's see. It flips really nice. It gives a tiny bit of throttle before the flip, and then it flips over really fast. And because this thing is crazy light, it does really nice flips. The funnels and high rates with that yaw are just crazy. And for $16 total, I think this is a definite yes to buy. I highly recommend this to not beginners though, because the yaw is really fast, and I can control it on this remote, but it's a little bit hard. And you can also use the Bayang Toys X9 remote, I believe. I've seen a bunch of people use that, and that gives you a lower rate, so that's even nicer. So yeah, that's about it. Just a really nice overall all-around quad. I do recommend it. It's really nice for the price. It's great, and it's just so cool to see it spin, especially at night with the lights. So yeah, that was the this part of the review. So now let's go check out some flight footage. Okay, here we are for the indoor flight of the JJrC / Eachine H8 Mini, and I'll set it down on the ground here so I can recalibrate the accelerometer and headless, as I'll show those off real quick. So there's the accelerometer, there's headless. So let's get right into it. Start off with a stability hover test here. Trimming out, needs a little trim. It's very quiet, this one is. So there's a hands-off hover, completely hands-off there. Losing just a tad bit of throttle, but very stable. Okay, let's look at the yaw and low rates here. There's low rates yaw. So you can see even in low rates, that's still a really good yaw. Now let's check out the pitch here. You can see pretty good pitch for low rates. Okay, let's bring it back. Now let's go to high rates. There's high rates yaw. Really crazy fast yaw on high rates. Look at that. Crazy yaw. Drifting a little. Look at that yaw. Because this yaw is so fast, you can actually do ceiling fans. You can see there, I'm just giving yaw, and it'll stick to the ceiling. Oh, those are funny. Okay, so now let's check out the pitch. So you can see in high rates, pretty fast pitch. Ooh, hit the wall and turned it around there. Giving it lots of throttle there. So let's do a throttle punch. This thing has quite a bit of power to it. Let's do a funnel. Hit the wall there. Kind of get suctioned down. Okay, there's a funnel. Really nice funnel, as you can see there. It's holding really well. Just holding the funnel. You can see really nice funnel there. I feel that it leans. It always leans after the funnel, so I just set it down for a second. Just push the battery wire out of the way. Okay, there we go. Let's do some flips. Okay, there we go. And after a lot of flips, you can see it's starting to lean to the left. Starting to lean to the left there. I don't know why. Oh, that was weird. Doing a left flip instead of right flips counteracted the lean. Okay. So now I have calibrated headless at the beginning of flight. So let's return to home. Oop. Nope. It's too far off by now. So I'm going to have to recalibrate it real quick right here. So it's calibrating. And okay, there we go. So now I can fly around in headless mode. And that's really impressive that I can spin that fast and still move in a direction. The headless is really impressive on this one. For $16, I mean. It's not like a GPS one, but it's crazy how well it works. And it holds its heading really well overall. Okay, I think that was good enough, so let's fly it around just a little bit. It's a lot easier to fly in a much bigger room because the yaw is just... It really does zip around. It's hard in a small room like this. Let's go into low rates. Do a little bit smoother flying. Flies really well. I really like this. Okay, I think that was good. Let's land it. Those little rubber landing feet or foam give a nice landing. Okay, so that was the indoor flight of the JJrC H8 Mini. So now let's take it outside and see what it can do. Let's go check it out. Okay, here we are outside with the little JJrC H8 Mini, or the Eachine H8 Mini, the outdoor flight, and I've already calibrated the accelerometer and headless mode just before this, so they should be set. So let's start off with a hand toss. And I'm in low rates. Do a little. There's a little bit of wind out right now, probably 3 to 5 mile an hour wind. I'll do a little slow flying here first. I'm in low rates, just so I can control the yaw as best as you can. Here's full low rates yaw. Wind's blowing up. As you can see, even in low rates, the yaw is very fast. That's way faster than most high rates on other quads. And here's the low rates pitch. There's a little bit of wind out, so that's why it's going slow, but okay, that's good enough. Switch it into high rates. Here's high rates pitch. Ooh. So a lot of pitch on high rates. Let's get going very fast, and then here's the yaw. Look at that. That's really fast yaw. Yaw is crazy in high rates. And the only other quads I know that can do that are like the Eefy XS1 Phantom, and a couple others I believe are coming out with really fast yaw now. But very fast yaw, so let's do a funnel, as you can see there. Look at that. Look at that. If you hear it too, it sounds really cool. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that on camera. So yeah, let's fly out here, fly out over to my front left, turn it away from me so it's not facing back, return to home. There we go, it's going back. Yeah, not too bad. So now I'm in headless mode. So let's see, I calibrated this at the beginning of the flight, so let's see what it thinks is forward. Look at that. Even now it's still dead on and headless. So let's do some spinning. So the headless on this works really well. It's probably the best headless I've ever seen. And for 16 bucks, and then have this thing still fly as good as it does, it's crazy. This thing, crazy value. And I think it's really impressive that it can go in a direction at all when it's spinning that fast. To be able to change the motor directions is just crazy. Okay, let's go out of that and do some fast flying. Let's do my little throttle punch here. This thing's very fast. Now it does get thrown around a little bit more than other quads by wind because it's just so light. However, it does, since it has so much pitch and throttle, it can handle a lot. Let's do some flips here. Very nice fast flips. Just flip straight over right away. Let's get closer. Lean in a little. I need to apply some trim. Let's try some doubles. Oh, whoops. This one doesn't like to do multiple flips too well. There's a really slow single. There's a double. Whoa. Really slow single. That was pretty cool. I think that was a triple. Let's do some more fast flying. We'll wrap it up. That's going to sound cool on camera. Let's try that again. Sounds cool in real life, I know that. Okay, this thing's just awesome. And look at that. For this size, that's really fast speed. Whoa. Okay, I think that's good enough. Let's bring it in. Oh man, I love this thing. Yeah, that was the review of the JJrC, or the Eachine H8 Mini. Really cool quadcopter. It's got super fast yaw, nice pitch, great power. I really like it. The transmitter is actually pretty nice because it's the Nano style, but it's a lot bigger, so it's actually really easy to use. The yaw can spin out a little bit on high rates, but once you get used to it, you can control it. Headless mode works really well, and overall, I'd say definitely buy this. I mean, maybe not so much for a beginner, but because the yaw is just so fast, but this thing's just overall crazy fun. So yeah, that's the end of the review. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.